Ladies and gentlemen, today I want you to pause for a moment and imagine something extraordinary. Imagine waking up one morning, taking a simple step, a step so small, so gentle, so natural, that it begins to reverse the damage of years. Imagine your body, which has been tired, inflamed, insulin resistant, suddenly waking up like a sleeping giant, healing itself from the inside out. That is what happens when you allow your body to enter a sacred state called autophagy. And today, I'm going to show you how something as pure and ancient as olive oil can unlock that healing power in just one single day. You see, we've spent so long believing that healing must be complicated. We've believed that it needs pills, expensive programs, or months of strict diets. But nature has always whispered a different truth, that the body knows how to heal if only we stop interrupting it. The moment you stop feeding your body constantly, the moment you pause, you give it permission to repair. That's what fasting does. But when we add olive oil to this sacred process, something almost miraculous happens. The body begins to double the speed of autophagy, and the chains of insulin resistance start to break. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Juliana, how can olive oil, something I use in my salad or in my cooking, possibly create such a transformation? My friends, olive oil is not just food. It is liquid medicine. It is rich in polyphenols, antioxidants, and compounds that tell your cells, wake up, clean up the mess. These compounds support your mitochondria, the energy factories inside every cell, and they turn on the same longevity genes that fasting activates. When you combine olive oil with a short fast, even just one day, you send your body into a beautiful state of renewal. I remember one of my patients, a wonderful woman named Alina, who came to me exhausted, discouraged, and battling years of insulin resistance. Her blood sugar was a roller coaster, and no medication seemed to help. I told her, Alana, we are going to try something different. I want you to rest your body for one day. No sugar, no heavy meals, no constant snacking, just water, herbal tea, and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. She looked at me like I had lost my mind, but she trusted the process. The next morning, she told me she felt something shift, not just in her body, but in her mind. Her energy was steady. The bloating was gone. Her skin was glowing. Within a few days, her insulin levels dropped, and for the first time in years, her body was listening again. That's what olive oil fasting can do. Now let's talk about what actually happens during that one sacred day. When you stop feeding your body constantly, insulin, that stubborn overworked hormone, finally gets a break. Normally, insulin is busy all day trying to push glucose into your cells, but when you fast, insulin levels fall. And when they fall, your cells start burning fat for energy instead of sugar. This is when the magic begins. Your body turns inward, searching for damaged cells, old proteins, and toxins. It begins to recycle them, clean them, and transform them into energy. That process is called autophagy, and it's the key to cellular renewal and longevity. But olive oil makes this process even more powerful. It tells your body you're safe. You're not starving, you're healing. The healthy fats in olive oil nourish your cells, stabilize your blood sugar, and protect your liver during the fast. The polyphenols act like messengers, signaling your body to activate the same genes that fasting does. The longevity genes, the ones that protect you from inflammation, aging, and disease. So instead of feeling deprived, your body feels supported. That's why I call olive oil fasting a gentle fast. One that cleanses without chaos, one that restores without stress. So many people struggle with insulin resistance without even knowing it. You wake up tired, crave sugar, gain weight around your belly, and feel hungry even after eating. That's not lack of willpower, that's your body crying for balance. Insulin resistance means your cells have stopped listening to insulin's signal. They are numb to it. But when you give your body a single day of rest and olive oil's healing touch, insulin sensitivity begins to return. It's as if your cells suddenly remember how to listen again. I want you to understand this deeply. Healing doesn't always take months. Sometimes, it just takes one right day. One day of listening to your body. One day of breaking the pattern of overeating, overthinking, and overdoing. One day of giving your body the space to breathe. Olive oil fasting is not about punishment, it's about partnership. You are not depriving yourself. You are collaborating with your body. You are saying, I trust you to heal. And the moment you say that, your body responds with gratitude. Now, I won't lie to you. The first few hours can feel strange. You might feel hungry. You might hear that inner voice saying, just a small snack. But if you can stay still and breathe through it, something shifts. The hunger fades. The mind clears. You start feeling light, alert, peaceful. That's your body entering a deeper state of autophagy. That's the point where your body switches from consuming energy to creating health. Friends, let me tell you, you are not powerless. Your health is not written in stone. You can change it. Olive oil fasting is a bridge between science and simplicity. It is not a diet, it's a decision. A decision to let your body do what it was designed to do, heal. And the most beautiful part, you don't need expensive supplements. You don't need complex plans. You just need trust, water, and a few golden drops of olive oil. So tonight, when you look at that bottle of olive oil in your kitchen, I want you to see more than just a cooking ingredient. I want you to see a symbol of renewal, a signal to your body that says, it's time to clean, time to restore, time to rise again. Because your body is not broken. It's waiting for you to pause, to rest, and to give it what it needs. If you can dedicate just one day, 24 sacred hours, to this gentle fast, you will feel it, the clarity, the energy, the lightness. Your body will thank you. And once you feel that, you'll realize that true healing doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. And it starts with something as simple as olive oil and the courage to begin. So my friends, don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for next Monday. Begin tomorrow morning. Give your body one day to renew, one day to breathe, one day to remember its power. Because healing is not far away. It's already inside you, waiting to be awakened. Ladies and gentlemen, as I look into your eyes today, I want you to remember something powerful. Your body is not your enemy. It's your oldest, most loyal friend. For years it has carried you, protected you, adapted for you, and even when you've ignored its cries for help, it has never stopped trying to keep you alive. And that's why the moment you start to honor it, even with one day of olive oil fasting, your body responds immediately. Not out of fear, but out of love. Healing is not a punishment, it's a homecoming. It's your body saying, thank you for finally listening. When people hear the word fasting, they often imagine struggle, deprivation, or weakness. But olive oil fasting, my friends, is not starvation, it's communication. It's a conversation between your cells and your soul. Every drop of that golden oil carries a message. You are safe now. You can let go, you can heal. The body, when it feels safe, begins to repair itself faster than any medicine can make it. That's why even after one day of olive oil fasting, people wake up feeling lighter, clearer, and surprisingly full of energy. It's not magic. It's biology awakened by mindfulness. Do you know what happens when autophagy doubles? It's like sending your body's cleaning crew into every room of your house. The old, broken, and toxic parts of your cells, the junk you've been carrying for years, are recycled into fresh energy. Inflammation begins to fall. Insulin starts to flow more easily. Your brain fog lifts, your skin glows, and your cravings disappear. You're not just burning fat, you're burning dysfunction. That's the beauty of olive oil fasting. It doesn't just make you smaller, it makes you stronger. I once had a man named Raphael come to me, desperate and defeated. He was 52, overweight, on 3 different medications, and terrified because his doctor told him he was on the edge of diabetes. He told me, Dr. Juliana, I've tried everything, keto, intermittent fasting, supplements, but nothing works. I looked at him and smiled. I said, Raphael, maybe it's not about doing more. Maybe it's about doing less. He didn't understand at first, but when I explained olive oil fasting, he hesitated, then said, all right, I'll try it for one day. That one day changed his life. The first few hours were uncomfortable, but then something amazing happened. By evening, his mind became clear. He told me he felt peace, not hunger, not anxiety, but peace. Within a week, his fasting glucose dropped by 20 points. Within a month, he no longer needed his afternoon dose of medication. Within 3 months, he reversed his insulin resistance. And when I asked him how he felt, he said, "I feel like my body trusts me again." Friends, that's the reward of obedience. When you give your body rest, it rewards you with renewal. We live in a world where we're constantly eating, constantly digesting, constantly asking our bodies to work without rest. Imagine if you worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without a single break. You'd collapse. That's exactly what your cells feel like when you never stop feeding them. But when you fast even for 1 day, you tell your cells, take a break, clean up, reset. And olive oil, with its anti-inflammatory magic, gives them the strength to do that without panic. It's like a gentle guide leading your body into restoration instead of starvation. People often ask me, "Dr. Juliana, is it really possible that 1 day can make such a difference?" And my answer is always the same: yes, because your body doesn't need permission to heal, it just needs space. Healing doesn't follow the calendar, it follows your willingness. The moment you stop feeding inflammation, the moment you stop overloading your system with sugar and toxins, your body starts repairing. That's how autophagy doubles. Not because of time, but because of trust. I want you to imagine your next olive oil fast. You wake up, drink water, maybe a herbal tea. Around mid-morning, you take 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Let it slide down your throat slowly, like medicine from the earth. You feel its richness, its warmth, and then you go about your day calmly, listening to your body. When hunger comes, breathe through it. Remind yourself, this is healing happening. If you need it, take another spoon of olive oil in the evening. Your body stays nourished, your insulin levels stay low, and autophagy keeps working in silence. Cleaning, repairing, renewing. By nightfall, you'll feel something different, a lightness in your belly, a calmness in your thoughts, maybe even a sense of joy. You might notice your senses are sharper, your mood more stable, your sleep deeper. That's your body saying thank you. And when you wake up the next morning, you'll understand why I always say healing begins in silence, not in struggle. Now, I want to talk to your heart for a moment, because olive oil fasting isn't just a health technique. It's a spiritual practice. It teaches you patience, self-control, and awareness. It shows you how much power you truly have when you stop reacting to every craving. You learn that hunger is not an emergency. It's an invitation. It's your body calling you to deeper awareness. And in that silence, you start hearing yourself again. The real you, not the one lost in sugar rushes and emotional eating. That's why olive oil fasting is not just for the body, it's for the mind and the soul. It teaches discipline without fear, healing without hardship. It's a reset button not only for your metabolism but for your mindset. You begin to see food differently. You begin to see yourself differently. You realize that health is not about restriction. It's about respect. Respect for what your body needs, and respect for what it no longer wants to carry. When insulin resistance breaks, everything changes. Your energy stabilizes, your moods balance, the cravings fade, and you start experiencing what I call metabolic freedom. That state where your body works with you, not against you. And the key to that freedom is trust. Trust in your body's wisdom, trust in nature's simplicity, trust in the gentle power of olive oil. So, my friends, if you've been struggling with fatigue, weight gain, or the frustration of insulin resistance, I want you to know this: it doesn't take forever to change. It just takes one courageous day. One day where you decide to love your body more than your cravings. One day where you choose healing over habit. One day where you look at that bottle of olive oil and say, let's begin again. Because when you do, you'll find that your body still remembers how to heal. It always has. The same cells that once struggled with sugar can now thrive on fat. The same organs that once worked overtime can now rest. The same body that once felt broken can now rise, strong, vibrant, alive. And all it took was 1 day of faith, 1 day of fasting, and 1 day of olive oil's golden grace. So tonight, as you prepare for tomorrow, I want you to say this to yourself: my body knows how to heal. I trust it. I will give it rest. I will give it love. I will give it olive oil. And as you whisper those words, know that you're not just changing your health, you're rewriting your future. Because healing doesn't come from what you add, it comes from what you let go of. My friends, the journey begins with one step, one spoon, one day. That's all it takes to start awakening the miracle within you.